Welcome, everyone, to the Golden State, Oakland, California, the home of the Warriors as they prepare for an Eastern Conference opponent right here. Great to have you with us, everybody, live on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Outside Curry. Dishes to Bogut. That one goes. Count. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. They've got Ian Mahinmi. Paul George is out. Hello and welcome, everyone, to another exciting edition of the NBA on 2K Sports.
All right, ready to go?
Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. A contest between conferences, Oracle Arena, Oakland, California, where the Warriors take their home floor. So the New York starting five, they've got Robin Lopez. Calderon is out there with Vujacic. Then it's Anthony, and it's Porzingis in at the 4 spot. They grab their own miss. Lopez kicks to Vujacic. And so here is Golden State. It's a 3-point game. Here's Barnes. Vujacic grabs the miss.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability.
There's a buzz here in San Antonio, Texas with another sold-out arena. We'll see the Golden State Warriors taking on the San Antonio Spurs. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke.
Out of bounds.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Thompson is the 2 with Barnes at the 3, Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5, and it's Curry in at the 1.
Explosive leaping ability.
Oh, that was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside.
And guys, how about how fearsome he is at times? I mean, you'd hate to be the guy tasked with guarding him.
The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way. So we'll see Klay Thompson go to the line here. It's on Kawhi Leonard. The Warriors shooting their first free throw of the contest. And Thompson no good on the free throw.
And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever. And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Now here's Green after the miss from Stephen Curry. Green kicks to Duncan. Shot clock at 6. Pulls up from the corner. No good. And Golden State will go the other way with it. And for the Warriors last year, they would end the season with 67 wins. That number, Clark, tying for the 6th best win total in NBA history.
And my guess is only a few people saw it coming. I mean, as the season wore on, it became more and more apparent the Warriors were for real, but it took a while for people to accept that fact. What a beautiful pass to set that one up.
The pass might have been pretty, but the finish, I thought, Clark, angry.
That's a heck of a combination. Pretty pass and angry punch.
And that's what makes the alley-oop such a terrific play when you're able to execute it.
The Spurs have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. The drive by Aldridge. No good off the front iron.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
Curry against Green. On the wing, Thompson. From the arc. Score it. His 3rd straight basket in 3 tries.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Out to the wing. Fires from 18. Bank shot. No good.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
It's Curry outside. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. A different look now for San Antonio. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Ginobili comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Spates checked in for Golden State. Iguodala comes in for Barnes. Thompson from long range. Rebounded by the Spurs. Mills passes to West. pick by West. Ginobili dishes to Leonard. Wide open. That's short off the rim.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Here's Curry with the three. Another miss by Curry.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, as a coach, you can really ill afford to have those types of opportunities presented against your defense.
And again, it's the Warriors missing. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Launches a three. Offensive rebound, Spurs. Ginobili with the three. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. Golden State's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Spates kicks to Thompson. And there's the call on Ginobili. 12 seconds left here in the first quarter. Here's Iguodala. Looking to end the drought. No good. On that last second attempt there. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Spurs lead by 1. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
The ageless ones, Diaw and Duncan, are down low. Martin is out there with Mills, and it's Anderson in the small forward position. That's the San Antonio 5. Tony Parker's checked in for Patty Mills. The Warriors also with a sub. Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. Here is Livingston. Dishes it to Ezeli. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Rush. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Rush has got the lead up to 1 now for the Warriors. There's the steal. On up the court. That is good.
They're doing much better now. I mean, in the first quarter, they converted less than 30% of their field goals. But they've bounced back nicely here.
Now, here's Parker. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Back to Duncan. Spurs passing it around. Clock at 4. Here's Parker. Here's Diaw. The shot no good. And Golden State will go the other way with it. Livingston kicks to Rush. Plenty of space. Almost, but it rolls out.
Well, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
And you look at the Spurs and how they avoid losing streaks. I mean, most teams losing 4 in a row wouldn't be such a big deal. It's only a big deal for the Spurs because they're so consistent year in and year out.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Duncan. Green comes in for Boris Diaw. And it's Ginobili in for Kevin Martin. Leonard, he's checked in for San Antonio. Now here's Curry. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. On the wing, Green. Good, and Curry gets the assist.
And guys, for the Spurs, a big reason they rarely go on losing streaks is that they have no bad matchups. One of only 3 teams in the NBA last year to defeat every other NBA team. Winning for this group is just second nature.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Warriors.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, they're jumping on a lot of turnovers, making sure they turn them into points at the other end.
Knocked loose, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry. Spurs trail by 6. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Leonard, that's for 2. Iguodala with the steal.
2 minutes.
And here is Curry. .152 left in the first half of the game. Down low. And there's Green on the assist by Curry. Green's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's key to this run. Passing it with purpose, the D hasn't been able to keep up.
And the Spurs with some changes. West is checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. The Spurs have gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. The drive by Aldridge. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Aldridge has got his first bucket in this one. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here.
Well, close to picking that one off.
Still a nice play to make sure that pass didn't reach its target.
We've got 1:28 left to play in the first half. Now Curry. From deep.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
Again, Curry missing.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Back to Green. 6 to shoot. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
As Gravy is talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammon, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
Spurs trail by 6. Outside, Green. He dishes it to West. Back to Green. West passes to Ginobili. Shoots it. That'll do it for the first half. The Warriors on top, up by 6. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
And now, your Spurs team.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Klay Thompson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first two quarters. Klay Thompson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
And Golden State looking at who they've got. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. And it's Barnes and it's the threesome. What a year for the Warriors. Clark won their division for the first time in 39 years, ran away with the very tough Western Conference.
And there were a number of surprises last season, Kevin, but the Warriors were at the top of the list. I mean, I don't think anybody, including you and I, pegged them to be as good as they were.
Especially the way the finals began.
Exactly.
And the Warriors won 51 games back in 2014, improved that mark by 16 wins last season. Among teams that won at least 50 games in the previous year, that 16-game improvement was an NBA record for the Warriors.
Leonard dishes to Parker. Warriors with the rebound.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
It's Curry with the drive, and he gets it to go. Curry's got 7.
It goes without saying the Warriors set franchise records all over the place with their play. Their win total being the highest ever, but also of note it was the first time they've won 50 games in back-to-back seasons. They seem to truly have arrived as a top-notch franchise in this current state of the NBA.
Here's Parker. Following the basket by Stephen Curry. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for the Spurs. Martin comes in for Green. Then for the Warriors, Spates checked in for Bogut. Ian Clark comes in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Warriors leading. By 7. Parker against Green. Here is Livingston. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Let's go. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. San Antonio making a switch here. Diaz checked in. Golden State also making some changes. Razili's checked in for Green. And it's Rush in for Harrison Barnes.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup. So I'd agree with you there, Greg.
So many great statistics are available to demonstrate just how dominant the Warriors were last season. My favorite is G8, their point differential.
You know, to be able to beat your opponent by double digits on average is something only 8 teams have been able to do in the history of the league.
It's amazing. Ezeli can't get it to go.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Kevin Martin.
Guys, the Warriors ended the year at just over a 10-point differential per game. I mean, still that number is staggering when you think of what it takes to achieve that mark over the course of a season. Typically, championship teams are somewhere in the +6 to +8 range. 10 is off the charts.
Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. Spurs have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. From past the arc. Good. Now just a 1-point Warrior lead.
And you know what? That Warriors point differential was helped out a lot by their play at home. The home differential was almost plus 15 points per game. A lot of blowout wins. Scary thing is they set their starters in the fourth so often, they could have made those numbers even higher had they wanted.
Timeout called the Warriors.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Some changes here for the Spurs. West is checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Ginobili comes in for Kevin Martin. And it's Mills in for Parker. Different. Look here for the Warriors. Anderson Varejao checked in for Ezeli. Iguodala comes in for Maurice Spates. Klay Thompson, he's checked in for Ian Clark. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in a more of a spotlight. He's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time.
Now here's Curry. 7 points in the game. To the middle. And Iguodala gets it to go in on the assist by Curry. Curry's got 3 assists now in this one.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Anderson hits to Diallo. Ginobili can't hit.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
Timeout called the Warriors.
And did not seem happy about how things are going on right now, and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
And so it's Golden State with it. It's a 3-point game. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. 8 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Mills. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. They get Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
For San Antonio, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far. And both free throws good for Mills. Curry. No good. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball by 1. And when we return, we'll get the fourth. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. San Antonio trailing here. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Duncan is up there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the 3, the small forward. That's the San Antonio 5. And here's Green outside. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Defensively, they can't afford to back off of him that much. You don't want to be giving up easy threes, especially at this stage of the game.
It's Curry with the drive. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Here's Parker. Kicks it to Aldridge. Spurs passing it around. To the paint. That's tipped. It's stolen by Bogut. Jumps up. And Green slams it in.
Just enormous, guys, with time winding down. Goes for the steal, and then off to the races.
Yeah, that was big time right there, Clark. That's terrific basketball.
Timeout. Here we go.
Timeout called the Warriors. This season, Clark, the Spurs kept on winning as usual. They passed the Lakers, in fact, for the best winning percentage all time for a franchise.
Well, some of that has to do with the struggles the Lakers had last season, but more of it is credit to the Spurs. Consistency and high-quality play has been who they are and have been for 2 decades.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Steve Kerr was going over with his team. He told them the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
And with the Spurs and their winning percentage, it's right above 60. Not bad for a team that joined the NBA back in 1977.
Here's Parker. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Duncan high post. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Green from deep three-point range. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Spurs.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well. A lot of the Spurs' success, guys, with their winning percentage has come since the 90s. The way they are put together, who knows how high they can push that franchise winning percentage.
And they are.
And how. I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint. And you look at the story defensively in this game, I mean, they've gone backwards in the second half. A little too casual for me. It's costing them. They're paying for it.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
And they've gotten good looks, you know, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, you know, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? Ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
Andrew Bogut checked in for Maurice Spates. He's off on the first. So he can't get either to fall.
Usually free throws are a formality for him. I didn't expect that result when he stepped up there.
Here's Aldridge. Off target from three-point range. Warriors trail by 3. Outside, Green. .151 left in the fourth quarter. Duncan with the block. Feeds to Aldridge. It's stolen by Green. Now the Warriors moving it up. Thompson for 3. Spurs leading by 3. Stolen by Thompson. To the wing right side. Curry outside. And again, it's the Warriors missing. And he lobs it up toward the rim. And it's out of bounds. And they say it was last touched by Leonard.
Got sloppy in a close game. You have to take advantage of every opportunity.
Mills, he's checked in for Tony Parker. And Curry, here we go. He drops the first one, and that brings them within 2 here.
Boy, you have to like how he's challenging the defense now in the second half. Getting to the line for a lot of free throw opportunities.
Stephen Curry hits them both.
And really just a great rhythm at the line, whether it's a big lead in the first quarter or with the game hanging in the balance.
San Antonio's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Mills passes to Leonard. The baseline jam. Here's Aldridge. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And that's an example of willpower right there, guys. I mean, grabbing the offensive rebound and then going back up strong.
And GA, in a close game like this where every possession is critical, that could prove to be a very big one.
Boy, it sure could, Kevin. I mean, he salvaged 2 big points for them off that miss.
And I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
You know, I think that's probably a smart move.
I think so, too. And Mills kicks to Duncan. Money!
Oh, that's the shot of the game.
Well, he was fearless enough to get it up and down, and it paid off for him.
And it's still within reach.
But they have to be really close to perfect from here on out. I mean, they have to get their offense right on target, right on point immediately.
Here's Curry. Off the inbound. Another miss by Curry.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good look.
And the dunk by Aldridge.
And with that basket, you'd have to think this lead is secure.
I'm almost ready to go there with you, partner. Not quite. I'm hanging around at that 98% mark. So it's just about done, but I need a little more evidence to close the book on.
Here's Thompson. From deep three-point range, it's rebounded by Aldridge. And now it's Green running. He can go all the way. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
And doing a great job here just stringing together solid possessions as they build that lead up.
I tell you, there's no substitute for consistency, Greg. You know that, I know it. You can stay in control of the game. They'll stay in control of it if they simply stay good with their execution of the game plan and don't waste any possession.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
And so it's San Antonio with the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but Clark, a win nonetheless.
Yeah, and it appeared to me as though the fans gave them the emotional boost they needed down the stretch, Kevin. This crowd was not going to let this one slip away.
And that about wraps